Hamilton just warned engineers about this. Wolff claims that Hamilton's inability to overtake despite being up to 5 seconds faster per lap has demonstrated the need for F1 to reevaluate the famed street circuit. You can see that another lesson is that at Monaco, track position is crucial and that 5 seconds is comparable to an F2 vehicle. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video, we will be talking about what Hamilton warned the engineers. Stay tuned because this is going to be a revealing video. We do believe that we should take a closer look at the course because it is such a spectacle. Beautiful location and it is always amazing to be here. If anything, we should consider the layout because Monaco's winding, tight streets prevent passing. The Grand Prix calendar position has been under increasing pressure due to Liberty Media's desire to enter new markets and venues that it can more effectively exploit. This is similar to other organizational and commercial aspects of the Grand Prix, which have remained essentially unchanged for decades. Wolff's perspective. Wolff is optimistic that a deal can be found to extend Monaco's F1 contract, but he acknowledges that a layout change might be wishful thinking given the Principality's limited capacity to facilitate overtaking maneuvers without taking dramatic measures. We believe a business discussion needs to take place, but both parties will undoubtedly reach an amicable agreement because Formula One needs them and so does Monaco. The track configuration suggests that it might be wishful thinking. We are not sure what more could we do but drive through these roads as the tunnel is already moving quickly. Maybe they can just make it a long straight after the tunnel instead of the chicane, and then turn around the tabak. Tabak would be too quick perhaps, Adam braking there. However, the track designer who has no idea is speaking here. Alonso and Hamilton conflict. The conflict between Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton has been discussed openly. Alonso discussed his plan with the media and disclosed that one of the causes was because teammate Esteban was given a 5-second time penalty for colliding with Hamilton earlier in the race. First of all, when there were 33 laps left in the race, I don't believe we had the tires or the tire left to finish it. Reinstalling the hard tires from the start of the race or using the medium tire were our two options. We wore the medium tire, but we didn't know if we could finish the race because our life estimate was less than 33 laps. When they informed me that Esteban had received a penalty, I took control of the tires for 15 laps before pushing for the final 15 laps. A disgruntled Hamilton could be heard questioning his squad why Alonso's pace was so slow as he observed the leaders, including teammate George Russell, open up a lead of more than a minute. When asked if Hamilton should be slowed down, Alonso was not sympathetic. Well, according to him, it is not his issue. Wolff's response to the remark. It is safe to say that Wolff was not amused by the remark. He thinks that Alonso's pace in his earlier collision with Esteban Ocon, for which the Alpine driver was handed a 5-second time penalty, prevented Hamilton from finishing higher than 8th on the day. Absolutely. First, there was a situation with Esteban for which he received a punishment. Then yes, he could have intervened immediately to restrict Lando's pit stop window or perhaps engage in combat with Lando and George up front given his speed. There is nothing you can do to change the rules because they are what they are. Position on the track is crucial in Monaco, which is another lesson. The collision. On the world broadcast, the collision between Alpine driver Esteban Ocon's interinstative OT and Hamilton was both live and replayed, with pieces of carbon visible flying off Hamilton's car. A second confrontation between the two nevertheless went unreported when the Monaco Grand Prix was being covered on television. O'Connor kept the position when the two crashed at the apex even though O'Connor was still on worn wet intermediates when Hamilton attempted to pass him for the first time. The event was looked into by the stewards, and as a result, the penalty was implemented during the race. When Hamilton tried to pass Ocon once more on the start-finish straight, he went to the inside of the ladder, and as Ocon drew near, Hamilton's front wing made contact with Ocon's right rear. This time the collision included two cars. Hamilton had one final opportunity to make a move before the Frenchman ultimately entered the pits, as Ocon contained his lead once more. Mercedes acknowledged that the front wing and plates had suffered damage a few laps later. It is unknown, though, whether the stewards were informed of the occurrence and looked into it. After the race, neither Hamilton nor Ocon brought up the other incident, and neither was questioned about it because it went unreported. Ocon and Hamilton. Ocon was irritated by the touch, but Hamilton didn't seem interested in talking about it. I was merely covering the interior because it was wet. Lewis is on faster tires, so any overtakes in Monaco involved contact. You are unable to name a recent incident in which there was no touch, nor departure from the track or anything else. We raced and tried very hard. Naturally, there was some contact, but that ought to be considered a racing incident, and it's a little annoying. Similar to the Alonso incident, Hamilton's fight with Ocon served as the ideal illustration of the Monaco track's issues because it is so difficult to pass without mishap. However, Hamilton had problems with this car in addition to the city's congested streets. The team made improvements at the previous race in Spain that boosted the W13's performance and lessened porpoising. But in Monaco, when the team discovered their car was bouncing once more, additional problems emerged. Wolff's response to the situation: the team still has to learn more about its 2022 car, according to Hamilton. His chances of winning the championship are realistically over, but he still doesn't think the team should stop working on the current car in favor of one for the next year. I haven't given that much thought. Before we can build another car, I believe we must first determine what is wrong with this one. We might easily make a mistake if we just started manufacturing another automobile. So in my opinion, the key is to control this issue, which we still haven't, before providing us with a direction. There is undoubtedly a ton of stuff that I would not want to carry over to the car of the following year. I've already entered those. The unpleasant ride that both drivers complained about in Monaco, according to the team principal, Toto Wolff, was caused by the rigidity of the car rather than a return to the aerodynamic problems that previously caused violent bouncing. I believe there have been no palpas upon our return. We have hit rock bottom. Simply said, we are landing on the ground considerably different now. The automobile is overly low and stiff. Performance in Monaco. Mercedes was the fourth fastest team throughout qualifying. Hamilton's final run was impeded by red flags, and George Russell qualified 6th, 2 positions ahead of him. Wolff asserted that the team's lead over competitors Red Bull and Ferrari was the same as it had been during qualifying in Barcelona. As a result, Wolff thinks their performance in Monaco was a good representation of their actual speed. We probably ended up there realistically. It is suitable for 5th and 6th graders. Norris got there before us, but especially in Monaco, we shouldn't have anticipated any miracles. An interview question posed to Lewis Hamilton during F1, one visits to the Principality, was another intriguing bit of news. Lewis Hamilton responded that Leclerc is a very powerful person when asked who he would support if he weren't competing in Formula 1. That was always visible. I'd like to add one thing. I would back Charles if I could join the spectators in the bleachers over there. I like Ferraris. My family is Mercedes like Sterling Moss. I'll always be a Mercedes driver. In his lengthy career, Hamilton has only ever competed for McLaren and Mercedes, but he has always had a great fondness for Ferrari. Ferrari and employment. Due to his supremacy at Mercedes and the fact that Ferrari routinely employs his rivals like Fernando Alonso and Sebastian Vettel, with whom Hamilton would never team up, Hamilton has frequently expressed his desire to join the Italian team, but a move has never occurred. He remarked that it would be absurd to believe that he had never driven the Ferrari in an interview with Sky Sports for the previous year. Everyone would love to be in that position. Simply put, that was never really in the cards for me. I will never fully understand why, but I wish them all the best and will use the remainder of my life to prevent them from winning the title. How do you feel about Toto Wolff's remarks in Monaco? Should it remain a historic track, or should the design be altered to provide more opportunities for overtaking? Do let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is all for this video. Don't forget to like and share this video. We will be back soon with another informative video. See you soon. Stay tuned.